The story. The Northwest University, in partnership with the Thabo Mbeki Foundation, are hosting the inaugural session of the National Dialogue discussions. The event is taking place at the university's Potchefstroom campus. The theme of the event is Reimagining the Northwest Province and forms part of a larger initiative that brings together diverse stakeholders to discuss and address critical issues facing the country. For more on this, I'm joined now by Ntlantla Kgatlhane, who has an update for us. Ntlantla, tell us, this is the first real step, really, in what is intended to be a process towards the national dialogue. Tell me how this fits in around reimagining the province of the Northwest.
Yes, well, thank you so much to us. Indeed, coming to you right here from the Northwest here at Potchefstroom campus, where we just witnessed, academics and students together with some community members, just interacting with regards to, that much anticipated national dialogue that is set to take place. We know that on the 15th it will be amongst, the real first step where, there's going to be discussion around the modality in terms of how, this national dialogue is going to happen. But with me, Tulasam, with a representative, the CEO of the Thabo Mbeki Foundation, who's just going to talk to us with regards to, what he has taken from here, as this process was amongst the first, like you already alluded to. Thank you so much, Max. You engaged with a couple of people inside.
Yes.
And you spoke on, a topic, understanding the national dialogue.
Yes.
I guess you posed that as a question. From your interactions inside, did you get a sense of, that people that came here understood what this is about?
Ntlantla, thank you very much. As you can understand, this meeting here today was organized by Dialogue Group, which is the group of former student leaders together with the university. But they made sure that we invite the agricultural leadership, because being in the Northwest, agriculture is very important. But they also invited the leadership from the mining industry, knowing that this is a mining province. Indeed, the engagements here were very, very robust. Whether there was an understanding of the national dialogue or not, what is clear, there's a great interest in national dialogue, and the points that were raised were quite vexed issues. But it was also possible for the people that were engaging to say the issues we're raising are not only the issues that relate to government, but it's also the issues that relate to ourselves as citizens, in terms of how we conduct ourselves. So in the end, I think the interest is very, very high.
You touched on, the engagement being robust. We also heard some people there raising their hands, talking about, let it not be about politics, political parties. A lady there said that, it's be about ordinary people and let it be reflective. Another one said that he's looking at the panel, and he was worried that, representation of women was an issue. I mean, we can't afford to make such, a mistake in ensuring that, people do believe in this initiative.
There are a number of things that the preparatory committee of the National Dialogue has to undertake. It needs to make sure that there's a cross-section of the population, whether we're talking about the youth, whether we're talking about rural representation, whether we're talking about women representation, whether we're talking about labor, we're talking about business. All of this sector for our society needed to be reflected. And I think the point is, today there were only two persons from our preparatory committee that were in this meeting. The one that was chairing the session. But the points that were raised with respect to women leadership, not just women inequality, but women leadership, a process like this, is very, very critical. And I think that's what the preparatory committee is busy with in terms of ensuring that sectors of our society are fully represented. Not just represented, but their voice is heard and their voice provide the necessary leadership.
Let's talk about, this initiative appealing to people. We saw people, interacting there. One would imagine that for you guys that you'd want the hall to be filled. How are you going to make such an event appeal to people so that people, can just, leave whatever they're doing to come and just opine and come with solutions to what they regard as.
Ntlantla, the first recruitees of this process is yourselves in the media. And I think you need to play a very, very central role in popularizing this process as one of the key process of making sure that our country doesn't descend into disarray. And I think that's important. And I thought it's also important that this is not a matter of headline grabbing. I think we must make sure that we communicate this thing as thorough as possible, because from the 15th of August, there will be a program that is designed, and the purpose of that program is to ensure that these conversations place at ward level and at a voting district level. So the media will be critical in that, so much so as our communications and marketing teams.
One last question from me. The national dialogue is receiving a pushback. We had the DA leader yesterday also responding to the letter that was penned by the former president, saying that he views this as a strategic way of the former president to try and resuscitate, amongst others, the ANC in the heart of South African people. You as a foundation, your reaction to that?
So our reaction is that those with eyes see and those with ears must hear. And I think that letter that President Mbeki wrote is very, very explicit. But I think we have a fundamental issue to address as a nation, where since the dawn of democracy, the general citizenry has lost agency. And some people in positions of political power believes that that agency belongs to them and that they will think for us, they will act for us, they will plan for us. But this is a process where we say the citizens are sovereign, so that we come back to the idea that says we the people. So whoever speaks, it doesn't matter from whatever political party, he needs to say or she needs to say, I speak for these people, because no one can justly claim authority over us unless that authority is based on our will. And that's really going back to the society and say, once again, we need to rekindle this will of the people of South Africa.
Thank you so much. That was the Thabo Mbeki Foundation there responding, to, their take in terms of how today's process went on. I mean, what we can tell you is that it's quite interesting to us that, they chose a province, the Northwest Province, which has a high level of, unemployment, a service delivery challenge, state of municipalities that here have been reported on. But all seem to be going well here. We saw a lot of people, young people, old people, women, men, raising their hands to try and opine in their views, raising their point, and also some panel members saying that they should not only raise questions, views, but also try to opine with regards to, what they think solutions would be to whatever they would be raising. Tulas, with that being said, it's back to you in studio.
All right, thank you for that, Ntlantla Kgatlhane, there live for us from Potchefstroom. And I suppose Ntlantla is getting a glimpse and a foretaste of how the national dialogue is likely to unfold at the point at which the various sectors and communities will be engaging.